St Dunstan TMS, a private school in London with annual fees ranging from £12,501 to £19,068 depending on the age of its pupils, has introduced lectures discussing white privilege. These lessons come after a surge in interest in the Black Lives Matter movement. While St Dunstan's accepts children from nursery to the age of 18, this course will be taught only from year 9, when pupils are aged 13 or 14. And Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is to be one of the topics of discussion during the lessons. Nicholas Hewlett, headmaster at the school in Catford, South East London, said teachers would explore with students the difficulties faced by both Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton when they joined the royal family, but learn that Meghan Markle faced additional challenges based on social speculations associated with her race, as reported by the Sunday Times. During these lessons, the concept of microaggression, an incident or action regarded as a subtle or unintentional act of discrimination against members of a marginalized community, will also be looked into. Among the real-life examples to be discussed will be trying to touch the hair of a pupil who has an afro or denying the existence of white privilege. The headmaster also said, "We do not teach white privilege in order to engender a sense of guilt among our white community, but to help all our young people, of whatever racial origin, to unpick and better understand the complexities and sensitivities of a real and live issue that matters to them and to so much of the society they occupy." Other issues included in this series of lessons are to be toxic femininity, why only white male actors have so far portrayed James Bond, and why only white people have been elected Prime Minister in the UK. Pupils will also examine statistics comparing police's stop and search rates of black and white people. Mr. Hewlett further spoke about the reason behind the choice to run this course. He told the Mail Online, "We run the risk of an increasingly polarized society where different generations become entrenched in their positions of difference, and that cannot be healthy. Schools have an essential role to tackle these issues and concepts by airing them and discussing them, helping young people hear different viewpoints and articulate their own thinking. This is far more important than what white privilege is or isn't TMT." The use of the term white privilege has been discussed recently by prominent Conservative MPs. Last October, Equalities Minister Kemi Badenoch told the Commons schools should offer opposing views when debating the concept of white privilege. Earlier this month, Tory MP Jonathan Gullis said, during a fringe meeting at the Conservative Party conference, that anyone using the phrase white privilege should be referred to the government TMS Prevent programme used to track potential terrorists. Following backlash, he defended his views in a Facebook post and invited any left woke warrior to visit Stoke-on-Trent North, Kidsgrove and Torquay and try to tell the people there that they are somehow privileged. White privilege is normally used to describe the inherent advantages possessed by white people in a society characterized by racial inequality. Meghan and Prince Harry spoke about racial inequality on multiple occasions in the past. While marking last year's Black History Month in the UK, Prince Harry said in October 2020 he became more aware of the issues surrounding race after marrying Meghan. He said, "I wasn't aware of so many of the issues and so many of the problems within the UK and also globally as well. I thought I did, but I didn't." The Prince added, "You know, when you go into a shop with your children and you only see white dolls, do you even think, 'That's weird, there is not a black doll there'?" And I use that as just one example of where we as white people don't always have the awareness of what it must be like for someone else of a different colored skin, of a black skin, to be in the same situation as we are, where the world that we know has been created by white people for white people. During the 2-hour-long sit-down, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex alleged racism within the firm, which responded in a statement saying the issues discussed by the Sussexes were concerning. The statement added, "While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately." Meghan also discussed how the Duchess of Cambridge being called Waity Katie for years prior to her marriage with Prince William did not compare to the experience she had gone through after joining the royal family. Meghan said, "Unfortunately, if members of his family say, well, this is what's happened to all of us, if they can compare what what I went through was similar to what has been shared with us. Kate was called Katie waiting to marry William, while I imagine that was really hard, and I can't picture what that felt like. This is not the same, and if a member of his family will say we've all had to deal with things that are rude and racist are not the same. Asked by Ms. Winfrey if Meghan's experience from Kate was different because of race, the Duchess said it was also due to the fact she was not British and social media are more prominent now than in the early 2000s. Duke and Duchess of Sussex's stepped down as senior members of the royal family last year and relocated to California. Following their departure, Queen Elizabeth II removed their HRH titles and they were removed as patrons. However, the couple have been allowed to retain the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But now, Graham Smith, CEO of Republic, has urged the couple to make a clean break and ditch all their titles. He told Express.co.uk, "They were given in order to pursue royal duties in theory for the good of the country, and they are not doing that now. They have got a halfway house where they have one foot in the royal household but also pursuing their own private interests. I do think they ought to have made a clean break of it when they stepped away and just ditched the titles." Additional reporting by Brian McLean on Follow Below for live updates. Her Majesty, 95, was spotted using a walking stick twice this week. An insider made it clear this move had been taken for comfort rather than for any medical issue. But the use of a lightweight walking stick by the sovereign should not be a cause of concern given her age, it is suggested. Royal expert Camilla Tominey believes every measure should be taken to make engagements as comfortable as possible for the Queen. Moreover, Ms. Tominey argued the Queen should be used sparingly, given her importance. Writing in the Telegraph's weekly royal newsletter, Ms. Tominey said, "I appreciate it is difficult, at a time when the upper echelons of the monarchy have become depleted in the absence of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Prince Andrew, for there to be enough members of the royal family to go around. Hence the need for the Queen to be front and centre of major occasions like this important century celebration, and other high-level powwows like the G7 and forthcoming COP26 climate change summit." However, since she is undoubtedly the ultimate jewel in the crown, the Queen should arguably be used sparingly. Quality not quantity should continue to be the focus leading up to the day on April 21, 2026, when the Queen faces the dilemma of whether or not to send herself a telegram. The royal family currently counts 11 full-time working royals able to support the Queen and the crown. 7 of them are aged over 70s, including Prince Charles, Princess Anne and the Duke of Kent. The Queen was first seen with a walking stick this week, on October 12, as she attended a service of thanksgiving to mark the centenary of the Royal British Legion, of which she is the patron. Stepping out of her car unaided, she was passed the walking stick by Princess Anne as she navigated uneven cobbled pavement outside Westminster Abbey. The monarch also opted to take a shorter route to her seat inside the Abbey instead of arriving at its main entrance. Her Majesty was seen using the walking stick a second time on October 14, when she attended the opening of the Welsh Parliament, the Senedd. As was the case at the Abbey, she appeared in high spirits and splendid form while chatting with members of Parliament, Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford and well-wishers. After addressing the Senedd, she was even caught making a cutting remark about world leaders who talk but don't do when it comes to the environmental crisis. In a conversation with the Duchess of Cornwall and Ellen Jones, presiding officer of the Senedd, the monarch said, "Extraordinary, isn't TMT it? I've been hearing all about COP. I still don't TMT know who is coming. No idea. We only know about people who are not coming. It TMS really irritating when they talk but they don't TMT do." The Queen has enjoyed good health over the decades. The last time she was seen walking with a stick was in 2003 when was photographed leaving hospital after undergoing surgery to remove torn cartilage in her right knee. A decade later, she had a precautionary visit to hospital after she experienced symptoms of gastroenteritis, as stated by Buckingham Palace at the time.